Good evening, everybody, and welcome to King Dolphin Television episode 347. Another episode with Fantastic Four reviews. Coming from 44 years of the Fantastic Four. I am Raymond. I am the author of the Dolphin Wars trilogy and the ruler of the greatest pod on YouTube. I'd like to welcome you all to this show. All right. If you like what we're doing here, if you like these reviews, if you like the interviews that we do, if you love the chaos, if you love the chaos of Just Cuz, please like and subscribe. And if you are so inclined, put some ducats in the bucket. The stream is pinned, or the link is pinned, courtesy of Tim FKHC 2005, who says, "Don't have Dr. Raymond Boom send Snorty and Trike after you. Pay here." And there's the stream. Oh, and I said it. Oh my. Oh my. I said it. Tim. You made me do it. All right. So, please, like I said, if you want to help out the channel, and put some ducats in the bucket, and it'll go a long way to helping the channel continue to run. What do you mean? Why does Dr. Dolphin sound discombobulated? You guys can hear me okay? Do you guys hear me okay? Hello, the lovely Sherry. So let me welcome people who have come in. Okay. No, I'm fine. Just got a little okay. Just got a little distracted here. Okay, let's see. Right now, we've got the lovely Sherry. How are you, dear? Welcome. Let's see. I'm kind of irritated because Cracker Barrel slipped the screwed up. So, yeah, I'm kind of upset at that. We've got the lovely Sherry here. We've got my amazing lifeguard corps. We've got Tim, FKHC 2005. Welcome, sir. We've got Legatus Legionine. Hello there, sir. And we've got the Wanderers, Sandra, our producer. This is King Dolphin TV in color and stereo where available. A Sandra Feliciano presentation. Love you, honey. And then finally, we've got the biggest, baddest bear on the internet. All right. The biggest, baddest bear on the internet. eater of seals, and eater of seals, and generally a bear of mayhem. Snort up a pass, Q-bar, dot scream, hashtag roar. Oh, ask the dolphin what he's wearing right now. Yeah. His stylist gave him this. Where do I get one? I'm jealous. Snort, do something about this. All right. What he was talking about is my hidden stylist decided he wanted he wanted to add a little splash. I'm not down in the dumps. I'm just I'm not down in the dumps. I promise I'm not down in the dumps. I am just irritated. But it's time. Hello. Hello, Phantom Outsider. How are you, my friend? Outsider. All right. And this is what I'm wearing in honor of tonight's episode. It's clobbering time. There you go. So I thought I'd show that. In case he watches on the rewind, he knows I put the shirt on for him. Yes, put a CT out there. I miss you, Clobby. Okay. All right, so let us get going. Now, if you are new to these reviews, what I do, again, this comes from the collector's set. It was on a DVD, and it's called 44 Years of Fantastic Four. It contains the Fantastic Four from the very beginning of Jack Kirby and Stan Lee's run, and continues till the late 90s, early 2000s. So that is where this comes from. We are currently in 1963, and we're going to do 2 issues today. Fantastic Four, 16 and 17. So let's bring it up. All right. Do this. Steven Yard cooperates. Let's see. Yeah. But that doesn't fix the problem. I waited 10 minutes. My food was barely warm, and his was missing. At least he's got his coleslaw biscuit and some barrel bites. Yep. Indeed. So, yep. 16. The Micro World of Dr. Doom. Script by Stan Lee, pencils by Jack Kirby, and inks by Dick Ayers. Yeah, 2005. Yep, that's about where it's at. Okay, so let me bring it up. Bear with me. I also did the upgrade from Microsoft 10 to 11, so things are a little wonky. All right, there we are. Let me get rid of the banner. Let me get rid of the banner, and let us begin. Huh. Still using Windows 8. All right. So, issue 16. Oh, look at that price, 15 cents. And it looks like it was a discount from the 25 cents that they had. All right. So, we've got the return of Dr. Doom, world's most amazing supervillain, with the special surprise guest star, Ant-Man. Visit the mysterious micro world of Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom does have a shrinking fetish. This is not, I think this is the first time he's done this, but it's not the last. He did some, I know he definitely did one during the Byrne run, the John Byrne run. All right, so let's begin. Oh, and you can start your own business in electrical appliance repairing. Earn while you learn and send your coupon today to Christie Trade Schools. All right. 22 post-pounding pages. You meet Ant-Man, and you got the world's most dangerous supervillain. The micro world of Dr. Doom. So, we've got, first off, we got an amateur astronomer looking and seeing a comet, and which also had helped out a hospital when the power failed. But they were wondering what it was. And then the light failed a robbery. But we all know who it is. It is the Human Torch. And where he's heading to the Baxter building, thinking, what could have happened? There's not a power on Earth that can put the Fantastic Four out of action. So he goes in, does not see Reed, Ben, or Sue. I think they're trying to do Robin when he's saying flaming fireballs. Okay. So he goes and he looks in. Then he sees Reed's hand. They've been shrunk and are going to end up in an air duct. He melts the air duct and he welds the duct shut. And they grow back to normal. They're trying to figure out what's going on. And Ben is saying it wasn't the first time. He thinking that it was too crazy to believe. Sue said the same thing, and Johnny says the same. So they've all shrunk before. And now we're hearing laughter, saying, ha ha, you're fools. You're helpless as putty before my power. This is only the beginning of what I have in store for you. And so they decide they are going to compare notes. Johnny was working on a car. When he shrunk and then almost ended up into the fan belt. But he flamed on and escaped. But of course the car's ruined. Ben was in the gym working on weights, and then he shrunk down and then engaged a guinea pig, which actually looks like a squirrel. And he was back to normal. Sue was on a talk show, and everybody thought she turned invisible, but she had shrunk and then became normal. And then Reed was working on the Fantastic car when he shrank down and was fortunately able to take care of it before they crashed. Now Reed is deciding to contact Ant-Man. They're all thinking he's probably a myth. Ben is saying, why do we need help? So fortunately, there's a little ant. How can an ant get into the Baxter building? I'm sure the Baxter building is well protected. against any kind of unknown organisms, and an ant goes in. But be that as it may, the ant hears Ant-Man and calls for Ant-Man. And in his lab, I love how they say, a handsome, grim-faced, helmeted man receives the message. Why do they mention that he's handsome? So, and then the Wasp is asking about the case, and Ant-Man says, hold tight, and he's going to go down, shrink, and visit the Fantastic Four. And here's an ad how you can hypnotize easily, hypnotize others quickly, safely, perform any known hypnotic feat with ease. Be popular and wanted. You get 25 miracle lessons and with a mail no risk free trial coupon. So now let's see what the chat is saying. Let's see. Phantom is saying, as seen as the 66 fantastic cartoon show contained in the Hanna-Barbera world of Super Fantastic. It was in 63. It was in 63. Phantom says Ant-Man wasn't in the cartoon. Yes, I know. I've taken it off. Okay, cover price 12 cents. About $1.60 today. Fantastic Four 16. Good 2.0, $200 today. Wow. Hypnotize them and make them think they are a chicken. But will they taste like chicken? All right, back we go. All right, so they are. So he shrinks, gets into his cannon, and is launched to the Baxter building. And then a couple of ants pick him up and fly him over to a conveniently opened window. And they're trying to call him. And next thing you know, Ant-Man appears. And Ben is surprised. He says, brush my teeth and call me Smiley. Sue's wondering how, and Reed is putting an amplifier on him so that he can talk. And he explains that something is making him grow and shrink at will. He says he could probably develop the serum itself, but it's the time is of the essence. So Ant-Man gives him the gas, tells him one for reducing and one for growing. And Reed is saying now we can probably go to normal size if we shrink. And Ant-Man is going to check on his side. Reed is thinking that it could be Ant-Man. Sue says he's cute. And Ben is saying, quit moaning about, damn you, we're moaning about the submarine. All right, so. Meanwhile, the next day, Ben is helping Alicia. And notice they say blind friend, not girlfriend. And he has a new serum to help Ben. Ben is saying he's tired of it, but then it gets sent down him. And the next thing you know, he changes to Ben Grimm. He says he doesn't feel like the thing. Next thing you know, the piano is falling because he's human now. And this is something that I'm sure Ben is going to worry about. She says, "Oh, Ben, my darling, are you hurt? Why do you feel so different? I love you, so I don't want you to change. I don't want anything to change you." And Ben is saying, nothing is ever going to change for us. And Ben realizes that she loves him as the thing. And then they say there's a warning saying, "Flee for your lives, beware of Dr. Doom. He's And now Johnny is doing tricks, grilling hot dogs and doing a sign, flaming lasso, and he hears the same thing: beware of Dr. Doom. Sue is trying to find ways to prevent dogs from smelling her by getting a scent. So she goes to a bunch of dogs, and they still lick her. So they found her. But she likes the perfumes anyway. Next thing you know, a girl is saying, beware of Dr. Doom. And the three of them appear, and Ben changed back. And it sounds like somebody is trying to screw around with the Fantastic Four. Next ad. How to make money as you train at home for a better job or a business of your own in auto mechanics. Many earn cash soon after starting. And then you got tools. You got mechanics tools, torque wrench, a volt tester, a cam ender, power timing light, battery cell tester, starter current indicator, and vacuum gauge and fuel pump tester. So mail your coupon for a free booklet and then pay a fortune for all this equipment and the books. Many earn cash soon after starting. Yeah, right. The sign says, "Be sure to drink your Ovaltine." There's an interesting fact when I make everyone angry. The guy who created X-ray specs and sea monkeys' name was Brown Hut, but called himself Van Brown Hut and donated dollars from his profits to bad people. Oy. All right, back to the book. Let's see. So everybody's wondering that it could be Dr. Doom. And so what he did, he split Ant-Man's formula into 4 parts, and they're shrinking. So they end up in a micro world. And next thing you know, they're surrounded by an army. And there is Doom, who says, "You are in the micro world of Dr. Doom." And Doom was waiting. And it was another shrinking ray. And then he monologues into how he became ruler. He was shrunk. And of course, okay, so this is the second time Doom was involved in a shrinking incident. It was in Fantastic Four 10. Sorry. So then he goes into the microwave. He shows up. It was peaceful, primitive, happy. He was upset. So he decides to ruin their peace. He met their king and Princess Perla, and he made a telescope so he ended up as personal scientist. He was able to make weapons. So he makes weapons such as a molecular ray apparatus, and with the effect of shrinking people, he shrank the king and Perla and took over. He then had a device that can send his voice to a bigger world, so he could tease the Fantastic Four. And now the game has ended. They have lost, and they shall pay the penalty. And you can get almost $10,000 for this coin. Yeah, right. Gold coins before 1929, $10,000. And you can also sell shoes. Mr. V. Mason Shoe Manufacturing Company. You can get $5 to $20 extra on shoes. Okay. And then they start going after the Fantastic Four. Reed defeats him by stretching. Ben lifts him up and tosses him. Johnny welds the boots to the floor, and of course, Sue becomes invisible, but the box was protected, and now Sue is trapped. He is saying that she's trapped, and he knocks them out. And then the team ends up with the king and Perla. So Reed is saying that they still have a chance, thinking they can get his ego. They are in an underwater dungeon with acid, in a sea of acid. And the fish are metallic. So they're keeping an eye on the team. Oh, look at that weird one right there with the bulgy eyes. All right, so now Johnny is flirting with Perla. Being charming, and then of course the thing says, "Stop it." So it was Sue figured out that it was Perla whose voice was the one that the Fantastic Four was hearing. Doom wants to marry her. So she is his prisoner because of that, because she hates him. So now, so they're going to turn the Fantastic Four as slaves to the planet Todd for them to join Doctor Doom. So they are stronger than they come from a planet with heavy gravity, a dozen times stronger, and are coming for the Fantastic Four. And they're going to make slaves out of them. Mr. Fantastic will be a bridge. The Thing is, of course, going to use his strength. Johnny will be using his flame powers. And Sue will be a maid. So she is in despair, but the Fantastic Four are looking to beat them. And Ant-Man comes back, finds the glass, and he goes back. And the guards are taken out by Ant-Man. But so many guards are around him. He can't fight them, and he couldn't get any assistance, so he's knocked out and taken to Dr. Doom. So Dr. Doom is taking another slave. And Sue, Ben wants to punch the wall, but the acid is dangerous, and Sue says she may have an idea. All right, you too can sell grit and win prizes. 5-cent profit for every grit you sell. Then you've got the Hypno coin. You can hypnotize in minutes, and it must work or your money back. Only $1. Right. And there is a feature page telling a spotlight on the Fantastic Four. He does feel pain when he stretches up to about 500 yards, but then it becomes painful the longer than that. He can turn into a spare tire or a parachute. And look who he's got there. He's saving Sue. And then he can absorb the impact of a shell. And of course, he's got the unstable molecules, which can stretch and contract. Although Mr. Fantastic's physical ability is something to marvel at, it's his awesome intelligence and scientific ability that makes him the leader of the Fantastic. And here you can get the stamps, triangles, magic, all sorts of various and sundry things for very inexpensive shop by mail. All right. Okay, let's see. Hey, Comic! How you doing, buddy? Huge. The Comic Relief Crusader. Let's see. Anybody else that's in there? Yeah, let's see. He says, hello, hail, fellow nerds. That king learned a hard lesson. Always get references from traveling wizards. Yes. Mr. Fantastic. Let's build a bridge out of him. Right, like the princess hates the guy who's ruler of his own country and is a doctor. Huh. We be nerding. All right, back we go. All right, the ad. Go. Okay, back. All right. Sue is saying the walls can resist it, otherwise it would have burned through it. And so Sue comes up with an idea before Reed does. And they build a little capsule that is resistant to the acid. And Ben they're saying they're going to use a ballast bag, and the torch uses flaming rays which blind the fish. And now they are safe. And Ant-Man is saying Doom can't barter human lives as he's waiting for the ship. Meanwhile, Sue is untying the bonds. And they go to an enlarging ray and they get back to normal size for that world. And Ben takes the control tower and slaps the ship and knocks it away. Ant-Man knocks a couple of the guards down, and then Sue takes away Dr. Doom's gun. And then once Dr. Doom realizes that Sue is free, he flees. He grows. He enlarges back into normal size and is going to be waiting for him. The guards are trapped by the Fantastic Four, and the king offers anything for the Fantastic Four saving him, but they just want the enlarging ray. And Perla asks Johnny to stay. Johnny says he's got to go back, but he may come back. So they enlarge. All right, so that is the end of the adventure. Let's see, is there a cool letter? Here's one. Dear Stan and Jack, I must compliment you on your very great comic magazine, The Fantastic Four. It is by far the best I've ever seen, and I read almost all of them. And this letter, or part of it, gets printed on your fan page. Perhaps some of your critics will think that one such as I, who indulges in reading so-called light material, is a person of rather low intelligence. Comic readers are held somewhat in scorn in some literary circles, I would like to say on my own behalf that I do hold a completed college degree, and I also read other matter than comic magazines. I would like to say on your behalf that the entire magazine is worth all the praise it gets, and even more, as the artwork, stories, and characters are of high quality. And they answer, you're giving us such a swelled head, kid, that we may not sell any more copies of the FF to anyone unless they produce a diploma first. And then, do you want spending money? Sell these popular patriotic and religious mottos. Send us no money in advance. And they will give you these mottos. And if you sell 25, you keep 250. If you sell 30, you keep 3. And if you sell all 40, you keep $4. Wow. From Stevens Credit Sales. And there's the Dynaflex method from Mike Marvel. Wonder what his real name is. The Secrets of Attracting Girls. And there's the fishing kit with all the lures for $12.95. So that is episode number 16 of the Fantastic Four. What do you guys think? Let's see. Max says, hello, Max. How you doing? Who says, enlarging Ray, I do believe on The Simpsons this was called the embiggeting biggity. Keeps going, and then cue clip from, dude, where's my car? And then claps, pause. Yeah. They're still trying to work out Dr. Doom. I'll tell you, even here, he's a badass. In his young age. The Fantastic Four answers a cry for help from someone too small to be seen. They arrive in a macro world whose leader is Dr. Doom. Page explaining Reed Richards' power. Yeah. All right. Now, let's go to issue 17 of the Fantastic Four. And let me enlarge it. And Charlie Chaplin is playing Dr. Doom now. Yeah. Fantastic Four number 17, defeated by Dr. Doom. Script by Stan Lee. Pencils by Jack Kirby. And inks by Dick Ayers. Here's a problem that King had to grow shrink ray so he could use it to shrink all the lizard people and harvest their eggs for breakfast and egg salad. Ew. All right, here we go. Get rid of that. I'm worried about that, but I'm going to give him a chance. All right, here we go. All right. In the clutches of Dr. Doom, issue number 17. Can America's most colorful super combo escape from the menace of the moving bars, the threat of the swirling cement, the panic of the deadly whirlwind, and the peril of the room without a floor? Marvel Comics Group ushers in the Marvel Age of Comics. And there you go. Your business, electrical appliance. I like the drawing out there of the guy with the pie-shaped eyes. Okay, here we go. This is you could probably consider this one of the first multi-parters for the Fantastic Four, since it does involve Dr. Doom again. So the Fantastic Four wishes Ant-Man away. Sue still thinks he's cute, but how can you see if he's cute if he's the size of an ant? So the Reed stores the launching platform, and Johnny says we can use him on our combo. And Ben is saying it would have been an improvement. We don't need fire extinguishers. And Johnny's saying, you're like a regular Bob Hope. And they're both saying they're glad to be at normal size. And they're all remembering what happened. And Johnny says, if Sue and Reed hadn't figured out a way for us to escape, surrounded by a sea of acid, I guess I wouldn't be sitting here now looking at your ugh face. And there they are arguing again. And Sue is reminding everybody that he went via the enlarging ray and is back on Earth. So Johnny was knighted before they left the kingdom. And they're both arguing. And I love this. Clam up, Ben. If you and Johnny want to keep trading love letters, do it somewhere else. You're rocking the boat there. First time they had Reed saying slang. And Reed creates a radar device that's extra sensitive to human flesh covered by steel. So he can try and get an idea to where Dr. Doom is. And the three decide to go searching the city their own way. And so Johnny sends out heat waves that may detect Doom's outer covering. But it doesn't work. Ben seems to see him, but then he goes down a manhole cover. This is probably the Yancey Street gang. And he comes bursting out of the ground, and the girls think he's so grotesque, he's almost beautiful. And then he sees that it was a guy in a night costume. So Sue is invisible, looking for criminals because they may be able to help Doc Doom. And he gets a special adapter, and he's getting ready to zap the professor. Sue knocks the gun, and it's actually a toy. And Sue bails out. So they go back, and they all go compare notes and decide to go do the social route. So So they, one of the janitors, because there's a bunch of fans at the lobby of the building, and they see the Fantastic Four and they're ready to mob them, but the janitor says, "Take the freight elevator." And he leads them out to the freight elevator. And then he shakes all their hands. They all appreciate their help. And they don't even notice that there's a little device on each of their hands. And the janitor was Doom. And so they're tracking devices so that Dr. Doom can keep an eye out on the Fantastic Four. So he releases lighter than air robots going after each disc. And so Johnny's on a date, and a robot decides to go after Johnny. And a creature goes after him, and Johnny tries to get rid of it, and she breaks up the date. He flew through the Michelin Man. Yeah, that looks like the Michelin Man. She says, "Johnny Storm, has anyone told you what a fast worker you are?" And she sees the Michelin Man first. And there's the hypnotizing ad. All right, let's go to the next one. And then the Thing and Alicia are walking, and there's another Michelin Man. And he tries to destroy the Michelin Man, and his fist goes right through him. And Sue is at a savings bond poster, and there's another Michelin Man, only this one has polka dots. So she turned invisible, and it follows her. And then Reed is getting a doctorate, probably one of many. And there's the final Michelin Man. And it's still following Reed. And Reed is actually figured out who it might be. And then they end up at the Baxter building, and he's trying to get information on what these Michelin Men are. So then he detects the little wafers. And he said that the wafers were leading the Michelin Men to the Fantastic Four. And then they disappeared. And Reed figured out that the janitor is Dr. Doom. And now he begins to plot. So now he decides that Alicia is her target. So he's wondering how Alicia can fall for the thing. And actually, this is the first time that Doom shows his face without the mask. And then Alicia's trapped in a grappling ray into a ship that's hidden by clouds. And at the Baxter building, he sees the picture of Alicia being walking on air, and Reed and Johnny are trying to stop Ben from going bananas, and Reed is restraining Ben to keep from going crazy. And then Doom shows up, and Doom says that he's going to win. So what he's got is that if he gets mad, he's going to use an illusion ray that will give mass hallucinations to the population, and or drops big quick growing spores over the city, which grow into various vines. So he's got a plan. And then he's also telling them that Alicia is the prisoner, and then if they're ever that they want to see her again, they better not oppose. So Reed is thinking he better take care of the threat, and then Ben says not while Alicia's the prisoner, and Ben bops Reed. And Doom is saying that he's won because they're fighting amongst themselves. He's saying he's not wanting money because he can make fortunes. He wants power. He's saying that he wants to have a cabinet post in the U.S. government. And of course, he's threatening with war. So John F. decides that the U.S. can't be threatened by even Dr. Doom. And the auto mechanic commercial. And then he decides to knock out electrical machines to cause the guidance system in defensive missiles to go out of control. And factories are closed because mechanical equipment are off and out, and so America is ground to a halt. And then in the behind the Iron Curtain, the Soviets hear the that the U.S. is shut down. And so Khrushchev is saying that Doom could do the same thing to them. He's Comrade K. So a general comes to talk, or a colonel decides to come and talk to the Fantastic Four and see if they can defeat him. And Reed says yes, and Ben is whimpering because Alicia's the prisoner. And Reed is keeping it very secret. And Ben is saying he's sorry he blew up, but is there a plan? And Reed says yes. Reed figured out the ship hidden behind the clouds. And he shows a section. And then there were disintegrator rays. Man, he's really got a trap. And then, so what the Michelin men did is they created a printed circuit of their body structure, and they are connected to the disintegrator rays. So he's worried that the disintegrator rays could kill the Fantastic Four if they tried to invade. But Ben is the key of the plan. So Reed is going to try and cure Ben so that the Thing can get in there into the defenses. So Reed is working long hours. He's already got a beard. And gives it to Ben. So he takes it, and it converts him back to Ben Grimm. All right. And there's the coin, and there's the shoes. So let me see what's happening back in here. Hello, Wendy, Trauma Warrior. How you doing, darling? Hope you're feeling better. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Let's go back here. FKHC says, I have no faith in Disney doing any good Fantastic Four film. No one has, really. I think the closest was, I've never seen the Corman one. I'd like to see that one. But I think the closest was the first the Fox version, the first one. Wouldn't they have been more easily in his clutches last month when they were tiny? Yeah. And is Sue saying she likes Ant-Man's tushy? Johnny is now a knight who says night or knee. Knee. Okay. Oh, and by the way, comic, happy birthday. Happy birthday. And there's a formula in these stories. Tim is checking for pop culture breakdown. Hold on. Let us note that these are most likely knockoff Michelin men and not in any way affiliated with the tire company. It's unlikely that company would engage in such rude behavior. So true. So true. I thought she was walking on sunshine. And also, it's not a good idea to tell the stuff Michelin does, as it can affect your restaurant's rating. Be nice to the Michelin men, or no stars for you. Yep. And snuffles. I would rather work behind the scenes. Doom wants power. Doom controls the Michelin men. Years from now, Doom will turn his sights on food, and Dr. Doom will be revealed as Gordon Ramsay. That's epic. And Wendy says, hail to the pod, and hail to you, Wendy. All right. All the hailing to Wendy. Hi, I'm Reed Richards. I'd like to stop this adventure to do a PowerPoint presentation presented by me, Reed Richards. That's what last panel, last page was. And Wendy is tired and worn down. Well, relax. Relax. Well, thank you, Tim. I would love to see that. The old bear is tired and worn down too. The snooze will be sweet tonight. Yep. All right. Okay, back to the show. All right. So he's back to Ben Grimm. And we got the shoe salesman. So Ben is going via a capsule with tinfoil jamming the radar. And he's worried that those disintegrators are rotating, and he's hoping the thing doesn't become the thing yet. He uses willpower, courage, and just tries to hold it off. And he went through the defenses. So now the thing destroys the disintegrators. And here comes the team. And he's still telling everybody to be careful. And of course, Ben is saying, where's Alicia? And then Doom says, you'll live to regret it. And of course, he's probably, they split up, and they go in 4 different directions. And they're in a maze. And next thing you know, the Torch is caught in a spinning trap. But then he uses his Nova Blast and he destroys the mechanism. And he's unconscious. Reed goes into a room and cement starts coming in. And Reed becomes thin and goes through the the cement and has to go faster because the pockets are filling up. And he escapes by becoming flat. And then there's the thing. The floor opened up, and he's on a pole that's slippery. And he's going to hit the ground. But he grabs on, and Ben shows that his greatest ability is that he does not give up. And then spares start rolling toward the team. He is underestimating the Invisible Girl. He says she is unimportant. Once the power spares have destroyed those, I could dispose of the Invisible Girl at my leisure. And they are attracted to body heat, and they trap the trio. I remember this one on the Fantastic Four old school cartoon series. And they are now going to another dimension. And he is gloating. He says, yes, I've won. But next thing you know, the instruments are destroyed, and here comes the thing. And he traps himself in a force field, or protects himself in a force field, and he's curious as to how they return. And Johnny says they were flame images. And Ben is saying, I want Alicia, and she's going to stay a prisoner. And there is Grit and the Hypno Coin. And he's saying she's going to stay a prisoner. And here's the ad of first the Fantastic Four, now in the same inimitable style by the same writer and artist. Another group of fabulous characters. Sergeant Fury and his howling commandos. Back in World War II. 7 doomed men. So Marvel is getting into the World War II action series, much like DC with Sergeant Rock. Let's go to the sad thing about the Corman FF was the cast was really trying to do a good job, and none of them knew the movie wasn't going to see the light of day. Something like that should be illegal if it was just for keeping the film rights. Wait, you'll live to regret this. Isn't that something Sideshow Bob said? And then he said, great, I look crazy. That was all to protect the rights. I think Robert Culp's son was Dr. Doom, and in an interview, he was like he researched Doom and wanted to get the voice right, and then at the end, nada. And that they should have sued. I knew they wouldn't have worked afterwards, but sometimes you got to do things like that. And Phantom Outsider says, here's a question. Do you think Johnny stinks when he's on fire? Is it like burning hair and teenage acne fire? Also, is he all sweaty when he flames up? I don't know. I know there's been some things that the heat burns away any sweat. It's all techno babble, but there's I don't think he sweats. Must smell like a tire fire. Okay, let's continue. All right. Stu was looking for Alicia the whole time. He he she finds Alicia and tells her to be quiet. Sue disguises as Alicia, and Alicia is, or Sue is pretending to look, looking down so that Doom does not see the costume, and then she turns invisible. I love this face here. That to think that the mask can actually show emotions. That is a very cool version of Doom. He says, "I should have guessed it's the Invisible Girl. She must have traded places." And Doom says Sue will be the prisoner, and Sue is saying you're the prisoner, and so Doom starts going after Sue, but she's doing a pretty good job of fighting him. She says, "We'll see who's going to regret that. I've been waiting for a chance to prove what I can do without the other three, and now I've got it." She starts fighting, and then presses a button, and then bars are moving around and getting close to Sue. Sue tries to get the control button, and she traps him, or he traps her, but she decides to use judo on him. That was taught to Sue by Reed. Reed taught her judo, and now Doom is going to sweep the room with heat beam, but the guys come in. He decides to escape, and he parachutes down, and Ben frees Alicia, and Reed is worried about Sue. Sue grabs Reed, and they're all united. Reed says, "If anything happened to you," Alicia's saying, "Stop making my head spin," and Johnny's saying, "What a lot of mush." So, and all right, and that is the end of the adventure. And I'm going to read a letter. "Dear Stan and Jack, I want you to know that I appreciate the fact that you are the only ones that have superheroes, none of which have proteges. Don't ever give them any. No one wants any Ant-Man Jr. because that would cheapen Ant-Man. The circumstances that create a superhero are unique, and when accidents like being bitten by a radioactive spider start happening twice, the whole mess becomes ridiculous. Last month was guest appearance month, so now we have guest artist month. Steve Ditko inked the Fantastic Four and also penciled the Hulk. This is the only the second time Don Heck has drawn the Ant-Man and the Human Torch, and Al Hartley illustrated Thor. What are you going to do next month? We don't know yet, but one thing you can bet on is somebody will pan us for it. So, and I get so sick of people saying in letters how bad the Invisible Girl is, how good the Human Torch is, etc., etc. So I decided to take a poll amongst my friends, relatives, neighbors, and so on. My goal was 100, but I only got 80 votes. Here are the results. Favorite character, Human Torch, 38. Thing, 26. Mr. Fantastic, 13. Invisible Girl, 3. Should the Human Torch get his own magazine? Yes. No, 29. 51 yes, no, 29. Should the Invisible Girl be kicked out? Yes, 27. No, 53. Should a new character be added? Yes, 71. No, 9. Who should the new character be? Ant-Man, 27. Spider-Man, 26. Thor, 21. Hulk, 6. What we want to know is, how come only 80 voters and Mr. Fantastic demands a recount? So that is the end of issue number 17. So that sweaty, greasy teenager. You'd also think they'd fly in front of him and now behind him. You know Johnny is the kid that's going to let him rip, and who wants to be behind that? Oh. It's too late. Remember, jetpacks aren't a sci-fi thing. But once Disney buys Marvel, oh, if they knew what the future could hold. But what about a radioactive aardvark? Yeah. Phantom says, is the rock on the thing like marble rocks look tough but is smooth, or is it like chalk where he sits on things and dust everywhere? Don't know. And Legata says, so far it seems the Fantastic Four is more fantasy Fantastic Four. Hello, Gary Ambrosia. How you doing? He says, hello, KDTV and friends. Welcome, sir. Welcome. Please get a like out there. All right. Okay, so that is the 2 issues of the Fantastic Four that we're doing tonight. And there's Pop Culture Breakdown, the chat line. Okay. Good to see you, Gary. We got to get you back on. I know Wednesday's tough because you got Pop Culture Breakdown, but hope springs eternal. Sandra says, you beat me to it. And Snortopopus claps his paws. Yay, Snorty. All right. So, okay. All right. This is going to be an odd show notes because I upgraded to Windows 11 and my Outlook went the way of the dinosaur. So I'm going to see what I've got going on.
It's time for show notes. It's time for show notes. Yeah, with Mr. Reagan and Sandra too.
Okay. Before I do Snortopupus's thing in show notes, I want to see what a marsupial mole is. All right. So Snortopooper says, take care of a human, dolphin, doggo, Dalek, ferret, eagle, hedgehog, and marsupial mole. TM, a wholly owned subsidiary of King Dolphin TV. Thank you, Snort. And hello, Sci-Fi Mombi. How you doing? It's good to see you. Well, thank you. She's just stopping by to leave a like and hoping we have a great evening. You too. You too. All right, here is a marsupial mole. There is, let's see. There is the marsupial mole. He doesn't have eyes. If I missed anyone in chat, have a wonderful evening. All right. It's most likely a mole with a pouch for its young. Okay. YouTube sci-fi. YouTube. All right. So just because this Saturday, March 1st, on the 8th, we're going to be talking, it'll be movie night on Just Cause. On the 16th, I do not know what I'm going to do. We'll figure on the 6th, I don't know what we're going to do. And on the 19th, we're going to be talking with Anti-Derivative Jill on Deep Space Nine, What We Left Behind. Yes, movie night. So, and again, I wish my Outlook was working. Anybody with knowledge on Outlook and Windows 11, please let me know. Of course, I can always contact Best Buy's tech team. So I'll figure it out. All right. That is show notes.
It's time for show notes. It's time for show notes. Yeah, with Mr. Raven and Sandra too. It's time for show notes. We're bringing it on. It's time for show notes. You've all been warned. It's time for show notes.
All right. Let me thank everybody who has made it here, and I hope everybody has enjoyed. Tonight's Fantastic Four reviews. We are 17 issues ahead, and we're plugging along. All right, so we had here tonight, we had the great Gary Ambrosia. See him on Pop Culture Breakdown later tonight. We had Phantom Outsider. Take care, buddy. We had the wonderful Sci-Fi Mombi. Thank you very much, dear. Look forward to talking to you later. The lovely Sherry. Thank you, dear. Thank you for being here. And that now to the lifeguards. Okay, we got Sandra, our producer. Love you, honey. We had a Wendy Webb Trauma Warrior. We had FKHC 2005. We had Legatus Legionine. We had Max Redstone. The Comic Relief Crusader was here. And finally, first, let me show you. It's clobbering time from my stylist, K11. Hope you get to check this out on the replay, buddy. And finally, Snorkel Pass. Come here. That scream. Hashtag roar. Hail, Trike. You're the dog. Sleeping. He's a whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, I'm scared. He's moving. Oh, I can get his head. Thanks all. See you guys later. Hail, Trike. Hail, Snorapoopas. All right. Everybody, you all have a great evening. We will see you on Saturday for Just Cuz. And be safe, stay warm, and I love you all. Take care.